You have no need of fear, or of defenses. January 22, 2016. Here in the spiritual realms, where all of you truly reside in every moment of your eternal existence, we watch with joy as you resolve and intend to move ever more fully into your natural state as beings of love. It is a state you have never left, and never could leave, but you have, through your choice to experience as real as possible a state of separation from God, and therefore from each other, hidden from yourselves your divine and eternal connection to Source. Consequently you feel alone, small, and insignificant in the vast universe in which it seems humanity's planet, Earth, although large in relation to each of you, is itself utterly insignificant. A planet that could itself be instantly destroyed by collision with some rogue and wandering celestial body. Your security as humans on the planet truly appears unsustainable due to many factors that are beyond your control and beyond your knowledge. Often it seems that those who are searching for God, a prime source, a supreme intelligence, or who believe in one, are merely hiding from the truth of your inevitable and eventual death in whatever form it strikes you. It is an issue far too fearful to address consciously. Unconsciously it creates great emotional stress and pressure that needs to be relieved, and so you hide from reality by imagining and hoping for a divine deliverance from your eventual and inescapable extinction. Others strive for material wealth and military security for the very same reason, an intense fear of death. That is the game of separation that you chose to build and engage with. And it always ends in death. So, rejoice that it is unreal. You are God's beloved children forever completely safe and utterly adored as you rest, apparently asleep and dreaming, in His welcoming and unconditionally accepting presence. Remember, love is always unconditional, and God is love, and so therefore are you. It is the place in which you belong, the field of divine creation, and from which you will never depart because there is no need for you to do so, and there is nowhere to which you could depart. If that sounds dull and boring, that is because you have totally forgotten the joy and ecstasy in which your eternal existence there is constantly enveloped. That is why we are so joyful as we finally see the signs of your awakening from the nightmare, the illusion in which it seems to you that you have been contained and imprisoned for eons. When you do awaken, the nightmare will dissolve, and it will be as though it had never been dreamed. Naturally the memory of it will fade rapidly from your minds because it was unreal, meaningless, and because you have no need to remember the unreal. Fear is unreal, and it too will be gone, never to return. Ahead of you lies your awakening, and that is a most wonderful prospect. Many of you have indeed been hoping and praying for this for most of your lives, and many of you have been disappointed more than once as the moment of your awakening, as apparently foretold by many channels, seemingly drifted off into the distant future. This was because of humanity's collective free will choice. On a number of occasions when your awakenings seem imminent, those who wish to maintain the crumbling old world order, whose sole purpose is in fact to rebuild, renew, and strengthen it, use their power and influence to intensify fear among you all by causing a variety of catastrophic fear-inducing events that led the collective to move back towards fear and away from love. Fear empowers those with dark intentions because it provides the negative, or, if you prefer, the dark energy on which they feed. Humanity's collective energy field is a bit like a seesaw on which negative energy fields and positive energy fields are attempting to outweigh each other. When the illusion was first built, the energies were basically in balance so that an interesting game could be played, but over time this changed as your memories of reality became more deeply buried in your minds, below your level of conscious awareness. Fear arose and the need for defenses against one another seemed to be essential for your continued well-being, and so balance was lost and the dark energies became dominant. This continued for eons, and civilizations and empires arose and were destroyed with monotonous regularity. Over the eons many have sought God, Source, Supreme Intelligence, and religions have been established with the aim of leading people home to God. Many wise ones have come among you demonstrating and teaching that the only way homewards is through love. However, For a long time that message was thought to be unworkable, and many took sides to support the view of God that appealed most to their cultural or ethnic origins. Wars between different religious persuasions caused immense suffering as the opposing sides convinced themselves that they were doing God's will by destroying the enemy, which was, in their painfully benighted opinion, what he required them to do. Finally, in these last few centuries since the start of the Industrial Revolution, and particularly within the last few decades, humanity has collectively begun to realize that a better way of living together had to be found, as conflict and disharmony had shown that the only results that could be counted on from that approach was further suffering. Taking sides just did not work. It took a great shock for a great many people for this to become apparent, and the wars of the 20th century, reported as they happened by the newly mobile and connected news media, provided that shock or wake-up call. Now many realize that love is the only way to live together in peace and harmony, and the numbers coming to that realization have been growing exponentially, increasing the power of the positive or loving energy fields, and unbalancing the energy seesaw, hence the attempt by the dark ones to increase the negative energies by bringing about catastrophic events that terrify people. When people are terrified, they have in the past turned to the dark, the military-industrial complex and its leaders, for protection. That is no longer happening. People have wised up, they have realized that they have been used and abused by those who claim to be looking after their best interests. They now understand that love can resolve the issues that have for eons seemed irreconcilable. In other words, the seesaw has swung permanently towards the light, towards love, because the collective has made the irrevocable choice to awaken. It has made the choice for love. The dark will continue trying to distract you for a while with tactics of fear, but the events that they contrive will become increasingly insignificant in their effects. Their energy fields are collapsing in on themselves as the light of your love swamps and dissolves the fearful and negative emotions on which they are utterly dependent. Continue your good and essential work of bearing your light on high for all to see. I assure you that your light is seen when you live with love in your hearts, holding the intent to be loving in every moment and in every situation. You have no need of fear, or of defenses. In your holy innocence, in your loving vulnerability, you are invincible. Let go of all your doubts. Deep within you, at the holy altar where the flame of divine love burns eternally, you absolutely know that you are one with God, inseparable from Him, that untold joy is your destiny, and that your awakening is inevitable because God wills it along with you. Your loving brother, Jesus. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman2.wordpress.com